All right, welcome to the 2024 High School Basketball Media Day presented by 4Q Sports and Four Quarters Online. We are now joined by Crossroad Academy and Coach Anderson. Coach, thank you for coming out so early this morning, but we appreciate it. Coach, last season, actually before we jump into last season, go ahead and tell me about who you brought with you. I see the whole team is out today. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your players that you brought with you.
Good morning, I'm Coach Anderson. This is my second year at Crossroad Academy, and as everyone can see, we're here. We brought the whole team. I think that's where we are now. We have a lot of growth from last year, making it to the Final Four, and the team basically said it's all of us or none of us. So we're here today. I have some returns from last year. I have Tyreek Jesse, who made All Big Ben. I have Myron to Nelson, my left, who's our senior guard coming in this year. We have Devell Dixon to my right, another senior, Jabari Bohan Jr., and Kamari Hill. All these guys were pivotal to last year's success and getting us to the Final Four.
Coach, going back to last season, you lost a couple of key players to really just this graduation, and looking at some of the young guys who are returning. What makes you excited for this year's team? And talk to me just a little bit about some of the attributes of this year's team and how it's different from last year.
I believe one of the exciting parts of it is being together for another year. We're able to mesh more. We did a lot of summer basketball. I think the biggest thing for us was just growing together and restarting our chemistry, because our seniors did play a pivotal role. They were actually two key starters to our season. So this team, I would say they're definitely more together, more family-based. We do a lot of things together, and it's really exciting to see how they just come together during school, on the court, and I think that's one of the things that will help us get back to the state this year.
Now, Coach, it's very difficult when you have a successful season like that, especially making it to the Final Four, trying to repeat that success. What are some of the things that you feel like going to the formula, as far as whether it's what you guys do in the off-season or just some of the things that you're looking for in order to replicate building on the 18 that they were from last year?
I believe just not being complacent, wanting more. Even though we did make it to the Final Four last year, we did not win. So we still have another step to go to complete the mission. So we are happy to celebrate, but we were just back focused to finish the mission this go around. In school history, we've been to state several times, and we just haven't finished yet. And I do believe this is going to be the year that we do that. Just for the most part, though, it's just showing up every day, getting better together, putting in the extra work before and after practice, which is something that is very important to our program, which helped us get to the state. And I just think just constant everyday development is the key component to what we have going on.
Question for the players. Talk to me a little bit about team chemistry, man. Coming in and seeing y'all laughing and joking like that, I said, okay, this is the team. These are guys that hang out with each other all the time. Talk to me just about what team chemistry is like for you guys and just the camaraderie you guys have together, whether it's during practice or outside and off the court.
First, I just want to say it starts off the court. Like at practice, like with your teammates, like they know coming in, you just gotta get to know your teammates. You just can't always be on the court. You gotta be off the court too, because you gotta know how they is as a person outside the sports wise. So like that can help, and then y'all can start building a bond together, and coming together as a team. So that's probably a boost on the court, because like now y'all getting along, y'all know how each other is, and stuff like that.
I think being friends on the court is definitely important, because if I don't like you off the court, I'm not going to pass you the ball on the court. I'm not going to, I'm definitely not going to make plays for you on the court. So if we do it off the court, I think we'll play better on the court.
Who's the funniest guy on this team?
For all it does. For all it does.
Who's the guy that keeps everybody together?
I'll say either probably me or Devell. Seems.
Coach, who's your coach on the floor?
At this moment, I would definitely say Myron is our coach on the floor. I think he's adapted to my personality, he's taken that and utilized that while being off the court. I believe he's probably the most well-respected player on the team, and I think that's what helps us go, because when he has the ball, everybody trusts that he's going to make the right decision to keep us in the right positions during the game. And just seeing his growth over last year, he's definitely more assertive, and I think that is what helped us have a great summer.
All right, Coach, one final question before I let you guys go. Define this season in one word.
Redemption.
All right, guys, man, I appreciate it. I know you guys I think you guys got a game today, is that correct? All right, best of luck to you guys, and we appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to keep it rolling with our next team. I think they're downstairs playing some games. But, Coach, thank you so much for coming out to Media Day this year. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We'll be excited to see you again next year.
Okay, and welcome back to Media Day 2024 here at Hangar 38. We want to give a huge shout out to Terry Johnston and the beautiful setup here at Hangar 38. Got great food and great games downstairs, or you can watch a game if you'd like. So we definitely want to thank them for hosting us here. Second year in a row, we're having Hoops Media Day. So we are now joined by the Maclay Marauders girls basketball team and Coach Gimble. Coach, thank you so much for coming out. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you today.
I'm Coach Katie Gimble. This is my third year at Maclay, and with me I've got senior Lauren Geyer to my right, and to my left, senior Journey Kramer.
All right, Coach, go ahead and talk to me just about last season. I know that you guys are looking to build on a 14-11 record and just try to make some improvements, but it looks like going down the stretch, I think you guys had a kind of a good little run. You opened up the season 9-2 before kind of stumbling a little bit. Talk to me just a little bit about last season and what kind of improvements you guys are looking to make.
Every year you're always trying to get better. Being my third year, starting this year, we're focused a lot more on strength training this summer and in the off season. Last season was a significant improvement from the previous year, but there's always room for improvement. And I think one of our biggest areas to improve in is strength and conditioning, and which is why we spend a lot of time on that.
Now, Coach, talk to me about what makes you excited about this year's team. What attributes do you feel like are going to be attributed to this year's team, and what do you think stands out to you so far?
These two. They will make me excited about this year. Their energy, their leadership, what they bring to the court, not only as players and their athleticism, but just their leadership and their role models. They're great role models at school. The younger students look up to them. They're good. They're not only good athletes, but they're good students and good people. So I'm excited to have them here with me.
All right, question for you guys who are booking and your coach. Talk to me just about what the off season is like. What kind of things that you all do, whether it was training or just building camaraderie with the new players coming in?
Well, for me, I'm not in a fall sport, so it's a lot of conditioning, like getting runs in, just making sure I'm prepared for the upcoming season. Like Coach said, we're focusing a lot on strength training, so we're in the weight room about 3 times a week, which is really good for us. And then also we have a couple new additions, so we're trying to get to know them more, trying to find their strength and see where they fit into our program.
I've played volleyball in the fall season, so I didn't really get to do as much, but I was still in the weight room, and we do a couple of open gyms every now and then when we get a chance.
We got a lot of multi-sport athletes just in the area, just around. How does that translate, going from volleyball into basketball? A lot of jumping involved, but I mean, how does everything else translate over?
Yeah. It's really hard, honestly, because they're completely 2 different sports, and it's hard to transition. But I think it's pretty easy and smooth though. Yeah.
You ever have weird dreams of spiking a basketball or anything like that?
No.
She absolutely, in games though, every now and then you'll see her go up and just bam. It's so fun to watch. Yep, there's volleyball.
Now, Coach, one of the things, especially with going into a brand new season, you got a lot of, and looking at who you replaced last year, you replaced more coming in. Talk to me about some of the new pieces that you have, and especially underclassmen that are coming in and plugging some of those holes from last season.
Last season we pulled up 2 8th graders to join our team. We just thought with their athleticism and size that they'd be beneficial, and they did. They were beneficial. They played a little bit here and there. I think they might have started a game or 2. But what we've seen over the summer, just in some of our summer playing, we're really looking for them to make a big impact this year. Like I said, their athleticism is just incredible, and trying to you can never replace somebody, but when you lose people for graduation or whatever, it's nice to know that you've got people coming up that are willing to put in the work and are willing to put in the effort and are gonna work hard to try to fill that gap.
All right, another question for your team that you brought with you. What are you guys excited about, especially with your younger teammates that your coach was just talking about moving up? What are you guys excited about just as far as going into this season and looking at some of the strengths that you all may have?
I'm just excited to see everybody improve and just exceed and just grow, because we do have a lot of young players, but like when we all play together and we're there every practice, like there is such growth that you will see like at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's our last year, so we're just trying to have fun with it, but also make sure that the players that we are leaving are ready to step into leadership roles, ready to lead the team to be successful. The underclassmen are amazing. They're so much fun to be around. They really bring a joy to our team. So I guess just seeing them grow and become more mature, but also bring that joy and keep that with our team, I think that really just helps us be more successful.
All right, one final question. You talked about strength and conditioning. Who's the strongest right now?
Without a doubt.
Zero hesitation. I love it. Coach Gamble, thank you so much for coming out to Media Day. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys this season, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the floor.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank
Yep.
you.
All right, and welcome back to Media Day 2024 here at Hangar 38. We definitely want to give a shout out to the wonderful staff here at Hangar 38. They've done a great job hosting us here. This is I believe it's our third year here doing Basketball Media Day, and we've also had a great time hosting Flag Football Media Day here as well. So we're excited to keep things rolling here. We have Maclay boys basketball team here with their head coach, Coach Granger. Coach, thank you for coming out today and bringing your squad. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you today.
Thank you. Again, my name is Coach Granger, and we're excited for another basketball season. We got a few of our guys that a couple of them have been on JV and moved up through the middle school ranks, and then we have some new members of our program this season. Starting from our left, we got Chris. Chris Foose is a returning varsity player, but also played JV last year. But it's going to be expected to be a big contributor this season. One of our underclassmen, Henry O'Rourke, is also an underclassman, rising freshman. Going to be a great contributor, MVP in Daytona Beach at the Mainland Invitational Holiday Tournament, and has played multiple sports, is now in the middle of football season, so had a great game last night and got up this morning and came on over. And we got Connor to my right as a 10th grader. Next to him is Brady, is a new member of our program. Brady Parkman from Jacksonville is now an 11th grader, and definitely looking forward to his contribution and as a member of our program. And last, we got Mr. DeRozier is on the bottom, and he is just one of our up-and-coming point guards, can handle the ball both left and right, and just excited by his development and contributing on the JV level and raising up through the varsity as well. But just looking forward to another great season and getting these guys going.
Now, Coach, you're looking to improve on last season's records. You had some key wins over Godby and JP2. Talk to me just about some of the sparks you saw last year and what you're going to be doing to try and hone in on some of those things to try and build into this season.
Yes, last year we probably were one possession away from 10 games between making those games wins and losses. And again, those are things that we are going to get better at this year. Free throws and layups. You know, a lot of games are won on those. And our guys are 1 year stronger, 1 year tougher, 1 year more mature. And so definitely expect them to get over that hump that we fell short on a few times. Great experiences last year. Went to Connecticut, Springfield, Connecticut. Got a chance to play against various talent across the country. So, again, just giving these guys exposure to different talent and different experiences is what it's about.
Now, Coach, one of the things that you notice when you're trying to build, especially when you got guys coming in and of course a lot of youth, you try to build that chemistry together. What do you find works best with your squad to try and get them to try and gel and mesh together with the season right around the corner?
Well, as much free play as possible for them, open gym, as much stuff as we can do in the summer between camps. That's in leagues that we can play in the summer. Those are the things that they do. These guys hang out a lot with each other. They get in the gym by themselves, and they take advantage of their time. And a lot of them have worked hard. Again, we got guys that are playing multiple sports, like Nash and some of our other returning guys, George Grant, who's not here, and Zeke Podorski, who's not here as well. But all of these guys have worked all summer, and that's what it takes for us to be better. It can't just be with me, but them doing it on their own.
All right, question for the players who are out here today. Talk to me just about what the offseason has been like and just participation of what you guys have done, and just talk to me just about some of the fun things that you guys have done to hang out together, get to know each other, and try to gel as a team.
So what our offseason looks like, we have open gym at least twice a week, and we played in the Florida State basketball tournament over the summer. We played in a couple tournaments. We played at the Big House most recently. We just try and get together as much as possible and practice our plays, try and grow some chemistry, and we work out, we play together, and just put shots up almost every day.
Yeah, y'all mentioned the big house. Talk to me about what that was like.
That was definitely a new experience for us because as a younger team, we've seen a lot of competition, but going there, we saw kids like the Boozer twins ranked nationally. It was just another level of competition that most of us hadn't seen before.
Also, too, we went down there with about 7 kids, 2 of which got hurt, so we were pretty, we had to improvise a little bit while we were down there, and it was a good learning opportunity for us, a good reality check of things we need to work on, and so we spent the past couple of weeks since that tournament really going harder in the open gyms, playing with more intensity, and just trying to get ready for the season.
Work on and our teamwork that we needed.
Personally, it was, yeah, you're right. It was a reality check. It was one of the some of the hardest games I've ever played, honestly. But it definitely, like, I would say is probably one of the biggest learning experiences for me. It's definitely one of the things that I'll probably look back on in the future and say I've gotten way better from just playing a few games, just because it really shows you how much better some people can be, and it just shows you how you can get better every day.
I guess just for the guys, obviously headed down. I think it's Rickard's first on the schedule here, regular season. What's one thing you're trying to do individually, either on the court, off
football right now? And if we are all back, we're hoping to win this game. Obviously, we want to try and get in the gym as quick as possible and knock off all the rust, but hopefully play a good game against a very good team and start the season off strong.
Rickards is definitely a good program, but I think, personally for me, biggest thing is effort. Effort offensively, effort defensively, because that's something I can control. And, regardless of if the shots are falling, if they're not falling, the effort is always going to be there. And so that's really something that I'm, strive game in and game out, that I want to make sure, even my teammates, just being able to lead by example, they can kind of look at and be like, he's really, giving his best effort. And so that's something I'm really hoping from the first game to the last game I can put on display.
Mickey Clayton, Inside Sports. As a former coach, one thing I noticed about your team, regardless of who they play, they're never intimidated. What do you do as a coach in practice to instill that? Because that's something difficult to teach.
Well, thanks, Coach. We work on the mental component, I would say, in preparation for all games and all competition, and letting the guys know that we as coaches, we got their back, no matter what, and giving them the confidence to go out there and perform, and giving them, preparation is key. And I think that confidence comes from them knowing what they're getting into and knowing what we're about to face. And so that can give them more, more confidence and more, just more backbone to what they're doing.
Okay, good job on that. One more question.
Yes, sir.
Bashirs, have watched you play. From leaving football to come to basketball. I know at Maclay you have to play a lot of different sports. But tell us about that transition and how long it took you to get into basketball.
Well, usually all football kids I knock off rust as quick as possible. Takes about a couple practices to get back into good shape, and then a game or two to get in game shape, because it's different. But you would think you'd be in shape coming from football, but it's completely different. So it's a big shock, because you'd think you'd be in shape, but you're still dog tired out there.
And I would say this, Coach, they are in great shape and they got great strength, but it's that endurance that we work on, and their endurance comes along, I would say, about mid-December to January, the beginning of January. That endurance really picks up for them. But the toughness is always there, and the mental component is always there with them. So, like Nash said, they do their best to get right back in the gym, seeing the ball go in the basket, and then the conditioning is the other part, that we work on throughout the whole season for everybody. So it's not just those guys who are playing other sports. It's everybody that we got to get in shape, and everybody gets going about that mid-December to early January.
All right, Coach Granger, one final question before we let you guys go. Define this season in one word.
Growth. I mean, it's going to be a giant leap. Again, we're graduating every other year about 10 to 12 seniors. And so this is now that last year was 1 senior, the year before was 10, now we're back to 10 again. And, so every other year it looks like these numbers are going to be kind of similar. And so the one word that we use is growth. We always break down our huddles with the word together. And we got to do all those things at the same time. We're growing together, and every year is a new year.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining us here at Media Day. We appreciate you coming out, and best of luck to you guys. We wish you guys a safe start to your season, and we'll catch you guys on the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Our junior, Micaiah McHenry, junior guard. Our forward here, and the smartest woman that you will ever know, Miss KB, Kayla Baptiste. And then my Chattanooga, Tennessee connection. First year here, outstanding guard, but Miss Crystal Collins, she's here, senior as well.
Now, Coach, talk to me just about this upcoming season. I know that there's definitely, I know you guys are looking to improve upon 12 and 13 from last year, but still a ton of bright spots and a lot of sparks across the floor. You had the 2 playoff wins, which were definitely kind of galvanizing for the team. Just talk to me about just filling those holes from the players that you lost from last year and what excites you about this year.
Last year was a tough struggle, starting with our injury. We was very injured last year. We had Tori out for the whole year. My second leading scorer got a concussion early December. She didn't come back till late January. Guard here, Micaiah, tweaked the knee mid-January, so we was behind the 8 ball a lot last year. The bright spot of that is KB and Micaiah got a lot of important playing time, so they understand the what is needed going into playoffs and how to prepare for a season and how to prepare for the playoffs. After losing those 3 that we had, those 3 seniors, we spent all spring and summer together. We played together from March until just this last weekend at fall camp, all of us. So the connection that we have, man, I'm excited to see this. We got some good additions to the team. Like I say, Crystal Collins down here, nobody seen her in Tallahassee, and once y'all see her play, you're gonna say, okay, that's that old Florida High. Added with Tori. We got 2 Trinaya. And Kelsey, another big guards and a big post player, 6'2". We have the size, we have the guards, we have the speed. It's going to be fun this year to see us play.
Now, Coach, talk to me. Most people think the offseason is a grind, but it looks like you all had fun. Talk to me about what that was like. Just you saying you guys played together from April, May until now. What has that been like?
Oh man, it is a grind. It is a grind, but it is fun because we're together. We bonded like none other. From traveling to different AAU events, from Tennessee to Birmingham, Alabama to everywhere, Atlanta. And then that's March, April, May, and then June we come together as Florida High. Which we already were. So then we're going to Daytona and Jacksonville and Gainesville. Playing in big tournaments, but at the end of the day, man, we're bonded, and that's what makes it exciting. So it's a grind. We did a lot of work. We had a lot of fights and arguments and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, it was for the best, and we had fun with it.
Question for the ladies on the panel. Talk to me just about the off season and what has you excited for this year.
Okay. Well, what we did in off season, like Coach said, it was a grind. We worked. We had practice 5 days a week. Before school got out, once school got out, like you said, with the tournaments, we were shooting to improve every game, and so we were in the weight room. We came in early Saturdays. We worked really hard over the summer. Specifically for our comeback year, because we did have a lot of injuries last year, and we want to make a statement. We want to be back to the old Florida High, where we come on the court and we give our effort, we show our discipline, we show how good of a coach that we have, and we leave everything out on the court.
To finish off what she said about practices, our practices were very, very hard. They weren't easy. And we just had great energy. We kept coming together as a team, and we bonded together. And, it was very fun and hard.
Yeah, I think they pretty much covered everything. I think Coach would like to instill the principle of working hard in our team and just grinding every day. in everything that we do, whether that's on the court, off the court, in the classroom, in life. Everything he wants us to be hardworking young ladies, and I think that he's taught us that really well.
Well, they pretty much cover everything. I didn't really have an experience, have the opportunity to experience the off season with them, but whenever I came here, I could tell this is the team I'm supposed to be on, the hard work and dedication and how determined they were. Just, how do I say it? Coach Marshall is very hard on us, academically and the basketball, that whole thing. But just basically being with a group of girls that are determined to play a sport of basketball, you can't find that anywhere or everywhere.
All right, who does the best Coach Marshall impression?
What did he say? Oh, he gets on. This is his favorite player to get on all the time. He gets on all of us, but he gets on Micaiah the most. So I'd probably say Micaiah, I told you, you need to listen. You don't listen. And that's, he tells all of us, but it's mainly Micaiah because she doesn't like to listen.
Man, y'all get on the line, man. Get on the line, man, because she playing, bro. She playing.
All right, now, when y'all have to get on this line, don't come complaining to me.
He's going to remember this. I guess, Tori, coming out of last year, obviously the big-time injury. What was your takeaway from that time out, or how was the time with the team in maybe a different capacity, and what are you looking to go forward for this year?
Okay, that's a great question. I took away the first lesson I took away was from the seniors last year, coming into being the new senior and being the leader and the role model. I learned from their mistakes. I learned how to better their mistakes, and then also it shaped me to be the leader that I can be off the court and on the court, because I didn't get cleared until July, so I kind of missed majority of the summer ball. So I still had to be the captain. I still had to be the leader without lacing up. You know what I'm saying? And then also, when you're off the court, you can see a lot of mistakes that you can't see when you're on the court. So basketball IQ-wise, I learned a lot about my position and my teammates' positions versus, post, guard, everything. So it was a blessing in disguise. It was kind of hard to be out for the whole year, especially because it was my second time tearing my ACL. So it was 2 years of high school ball that I didn't get to play. But I learned a lot from personnel of my teammates to the skill level of my teammates to seeing how my coach he cares about us a lot. He pushes us a lot. And it's because he wants us to reach the highest standpoint that we can. He wants to be the best that we can. So, yeah.
And Coach, well, good to see you again. I always think from a neutral perspective, Florida High, what I think about it is exciting brand of ball. What kind of excitement, and talk about your players a little bit of how you're trying to bring that excitement here in 24-25 season.
Well, that's one of my goals. When I first got the job, I remember a coach saying that he wanted to fill every corner of the stands with fans, and that's my objective every year, to put good basketball on the court. These young ladies didn't get to experience what that Florida High run was. I don't think any of them was a part of the Final Four or state runner-up team, having to create their own story, and with the talent that we have, the speed that we have, the size that we have, it's going to be fun. I really feel it's going to be a really great year this year. I'm doing well, man. Good to see you.
You're my role model.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. What did you do last year and this year in terms of going from being the hunted, because you had one of the premier programs,
being a hunter now and changing that mindset that you have after to get it as opposed to having to defend it?
You know, from being at that level, at being the hunted, I don't think there's a difference, because you still got to go and grind. It's like Nick Saban in Alabama. Just because they were the best, that don't mean that their practices was light. That don't mean that they were not disciplined. You know, so that same experience that I had with them is what we started to build on last year and get the understanding. And Tori hit on it, like she was able to see it from a coach's perspective of, okay, this is how this thing is supposed to look. So just that same hunger, that same drive, hard practices, grinding year round. Because when we had the dogs, like it was year-round basketball for everybody, you know. So why stop now? You know what I'm saying? And not, especially now that you got the talent back, you know. So it's the same, but now you know you got to win. You know what I'm saying? So they proved themselves in the past that we're winners. That's what they are doing now. We'll have to do now.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, I'm going to ask you one word to define this upcoming season.
Oh man, I'm gonna just say exciting. I'm very excited about this year. I haven't felt this feeling since the Final Four run, since the state champion runner-up run, like those years. I'm very excited. You know, we're in the weight room. Our whole training is different now. You know, we started weight room over the summer. We're still in the weight room going through the year to help prevent these injuries. And if we can stay healthy, this is going to be a scary team. And like I say, I'm excited, man. So I guess excitement is the word, right? Yeah. Y'all good with that? All right, my ladies say they good with it, so that's what we're going to do.
All right, well, Coach, man, we appreciate you coming out to Media Day this year. We definitely wish you guys a very successful start to your season, and we'll see you guys out there on the floor.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with our next team on the panel in just a moment. All right, welcome back to Hangar 38, and we are now keeping it rolling here at 4Q Media Day. Here with Coach Robinson and the Florida High boys basketball team. Coach, thank you so much for coming out today and bringing the guys with you. Go ahead and introduce your guys and who you brought with you, and tell us a little bit about Florida High basketball.
Yes, good morning. My name is Anthony Robinson, athletic director at Florida High. I'm filling in this morning for our head coach, Charlie Ward, who's unable to be here this morning. But we brought 5 of our seniors here this morning. First, we have on the far right, Eli Dickey. And then we have next to him is Caleb Godwin. And then we have Amari Robinson. And then to my left, we have Trey Card. And then our far right, we have Aaron Francis. Florida High, for the first time, I think we had a lot of success in our basketball program over the last 5 or 6 years. Big thing about it, we have put kids in school every year, something that we're most proud about every year. And I think we will continue that this year as well. Definitely take pride in, for the first time, I think Charlie have almost a senior-led team. But we also have a good mixture of some young guys that's going to contribute a lot to the team this year as well. One thing Coach Ward does a lot, he really challenges them with their schedule, also off-season schedule. This team had a really good month of June. They went 20-1 with some very tough competition, a lot of state runner-ups, former defending state champions. So we played a lot of good competition, even some private independent schools that we fared well against. So something that this team take pride in. They have built a winning culture, so this group is used to winning, and we expect to continue that this upcoming year.
Now, Coach, last season you had the 2-point loss in the, I think it's the regional semis that kind of ended the season on a sour note, but there was a lot to build on, especially looking at the momentum as you all had gained going through the district tournament and leading into the playoffs. Are there some carryovers from that going into this season?
Of course, especially with, like you said, we have a lot of seniors on this team this year. To experience that as underclassmen, knowing this is their last run, knowing that we don't want this season to end that way. We have lost in that same place the last 2 years, so that's a bitter taste in their mouth. A lot of them was a part of that, both of those teams. So we're excited about this senior year for these guys here that's with us today to make sure that we reach our goal by making it to Lakeland.
Now, you replaced Moore, who obviously graduated, and then looking at this year's team, what excites you, especially with the underclassmen that are coming into this program and looking at some of those shoes that you have to fill from last season?
Yes, well, we graduated a few seniors last year, 2 of them playing college ball now. T.J. Baker, definitely a true leader, point guard that led our team last year, did a great job. And then also Dakota Morris, who's playing at Berry University. Another big body, big scorer, just a defender, rebounder for us that we definitely have to replace. But definitely with our young guys, we have some from freshmen all the way up to our sophomores and juniors. That's going to contribute. That's going to really, our strength are in our numbers. So there's not a big drop-off when we sub from our seniors to our younger guys. And we have one younger guy that's ranked in the state nationally with a few offers already as a 9th grader. But the big thing about him, he doesn't have to come in and lead this team. He just has to come in and continue to grow and be a part of it. And that's the grateful thing that about our young guys is going to contribute a lot this upcoming year.
Now, Coach, question for everybody up on the panel. Talk to me just about what has the off season been like. What have been some of the fun things that you guys have done to build chemistry, or talk to me just about some of the tournaments that you guys have participated in during the off season.
I'll say during our off season, we traveled a lot. We were gone really every weekend in the month of June. We always together in hotels. So, that chemistry was already there since we've been together 24/7. We still go to games, all other events together. So, we're just always just building together.
I say our off season was pretty hard. Our strength and conditioning coach is a real good coach for us.
Just staying consistent is the hard part. You know, some days you want to lack off and not do what you need to do. But if you stay in order, everything went well. As he said, we went 20-1 over the season, over the summer. And the chemistry has just been building ever since we got back to school, since we've been on the same campus with each other.
I say it's been a real hard off season. We put countless hours into the gym, and coach has been hard on us. So I say it's been real tough, but we've been able to get through it. And the team chemistry, it was just all there to begin with, because we're all just talking to each other off the court, and yeah.
All right. This offseason has been really good for us. You know, we all been consistent in the gym, getting extra work, extra shots. Some of us go together a lot. We're always trying to stay consistent in the gym. And the summer was great. And we've our chemistry is like at an all-time high, I think.
I really think our off season was really good. The reason I say that because this is our second year together. Well, my second year in this program as a Florida High student, and yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I think the success from this team this summer has been their chemistry. A lot of these guys have been playing together against each other since youth basketball, and even some of them, actually 3 out of 4 out of 5 here, played together on the same travel team this summer. That was very instrumental in their chemistry and their commitment to one another. And once again, they also train together. The big thing about Florida High culture that has changed over the last 5 or 6 years is that practice workouts is not enough. They will leave the gym after 2 or 3 hour workout at school and then go somewhere else and shoot for another hour and a half before they go home. And they do that together. So the one thing about it, they all committed to the grind. They're committed to each other, and they know what this season means to one another for them to be their last run. And they do this selflessly while they're all chasing their individual goal of being a collegiate athlete. So that's one thing I think their success this summer was the chemistry with them sharing the ball, was happy for each other's success and not just their individual opportunity. So that's one thing about this team.
I guess for the players, so I think you all are headed over to Rickards to start the regular season. What's one thing individually you all have been working on to kind of get ready or to get juiced up here for the year?
Something we've been working on is consistently talking on the floor. Even if the ball is sitting in one specific spot, still just say something so that when something happens, you'll be ready. I feel like we're trying to get our pace ready. Like as soon as the ball comes out the net, get into our sets, everybody just know where everything is at.
I'm gonna just piggyback off a car. You know, we working on talking a lot, but that also comes with getting in shape. You know, so we all just trying to go on our own to run and just make sure we're all there mentally and physically.
Our consistency in being in the gym, and with our strength conditioning coach, Coach OB, really getting in that lab with him. Yeah.
I say we've been working on our transition pace. We want to get the ball out the net as quick as we can and get to the other side of the floor as fast as we can so we can throw the defense off track.
We've been working on our team defense a lot, communication, help side, just playing for one another on the defensive side of the ball. So if you're beat, you know you got help. So we should never be able to, you never have to worry about getting beat, you know.
Just to piggyback off him, one other thing that we're trying to do is, I would say it's really like, I just lost my train of thought, but it's just really how we start our games off. Like you don't want to be too sluggish because you don't want to have to be in a dogfight for the rest of the game. So we're just trying to continue to get better at, okay, like as soon as we come out the locker room, just have to have great energy for the rest of the game because you don't want to continue to get yourself in a dogfight after each and every game. So you just want to be able to be sure.
And it seems like last 3 to 4 years, the Florida High program, if I was going to think about a movie, what would it be? It'd be kind of Fast and Furious. Very exciting brand of ball. What's one thing about the team or the experience or what you're trying to do on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday nights out here coming up in the winter for an exciting, entertaining kind of brand of ball?
Oh, really? Gonna keep the show going, So we got exciting players to watch, So we really just love playing together. So we make plays for each other. So it's just another show to see.
I say keep our team energy as high as we can, because we all love playing with each other. So I say keep team energy up so we can keep the show excited.
I say get out, fast breaks. That's play defense. That's our game. We got these three guys great on the break. So this guy right here, probably the bounciest guy I know in the state. So yeah.
Yeah, it should be really exciting, especially with multiple guys that can get above the rim. We're trying to do the things that most people don't do, like diving on the floor for loose balls, just doing like the extra things that's gonna matter, especially if you're trying to be a D1 athlete. So as a team, we're just trying to hold everybody accountable. And so when you come spend your money to watch us play, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Definitely take accountability and what we've been training for over these past few weeks. So yeah.
I'm gonna hold these guys to all these answers they're saying. So I want to make sure y'all answer to that. So keep your word. So definitely we're gonna get challenged. I would say this about Tallahassee basketball. I think as a whole it's getting better. This year is probably gonna be one of the better years overall for multiple schools than it's been the past couple of years. So these guys will get challenged. It will be fun because of that, and that will keep us working hard, standing in the gym because of that. And so that we're definitely excited about this upcoming season and where Tallahassee basketball is going to.
Well, Coach, they wrote the check. Any questions?
I have a question to make it play Inside Sports. Hey, all y'all, many of y'all been watching y'all grow up. Some of y'all before y'all even knew who you were. But as you you're playing in a program before a coach that puts you in a position where you play the best competition available. Y'all don't have no easy schedule. Y'all compete against the best everywhere. So at the end of the year, your record might not be as shining as others, but you've been battle tested. How does that feel for you to be in the program?
As you said, we have a good coach. He has a lot of connections, but I feel like the challenge is what we need. You don't need to have all these Rudy Poo teams that you're going against, get your head boasted up like you're that good, then you get the playoffs and you get beat. So I feel like if you really love the game of basketball, you should love to be challenged, because there's people out there that's grinding like you, doing everything like you do. So once you meet your match, I feel like it's whoever been putting in the most work, that's who's going to come out winning.
Just piggyback off of Card, playing all these different type of teams, they give you a sight what you never know what to expect in the playoffs, So if you see somebody that plays a certain type of way, it's nothing new to you. It's just you just got to make adjustments and you have to change anything. So yeah.
I think this year our record gonna shock a lot of people. We got some guys that played some good circuit ball this summer and have played good circuit ball in the past. So I feel like we're battle tested and we're ready to play against these high level teams.
In the playoffs, it's not going to be any easy teams that we play. So I say we have to play these teams in the regular season so we could be prepared for the playoff run. And it also takes us believing in each other, because our coach believes in us. So
definitely seeing who's more battle tested. The reason I say that because we always play the top teams in the circuits / tournaments. But yeah.
Well, I would say this. Definitely, Coach Ward does put our guys in the best situation, most challenging situations at all time, and that's good for our kids, especially for the goals and the dreams that they want to go for. And it's always good to be seen against other very, very good teams and very good players, so that the true evaluation piece can be had during that time. But also, it helps prepare this team. Very similar to my high school. Shout out to FAMU High. And we would go to the tournament with probably almost 8 to 9 losses, and we'll face teams that was with one undefeated all the way up to that point, and we beat them by 20 just because it was battle tested. The thing is to challenge him. He does a good job of that. We have a very challenging schedule this year. A lot of independent SIAAC teams. We go to different tournaments. I know we go down to Miami. We go to Clearwater. We go to Georgia and Valdosta. So we have about 7 or 8 road trip games. We're going to face a lot of the best teams in the state and also from other states. So this team will be tested by the end of the year. We'll see how we fare, but we will be battle tested. So along with the teams here locally, there are some good teams here, so that we'll face them as well. So definitely excited about the schedule and the opportunities that these guys will have, and these will be members for a lifetime.
Coach Robinson, thank you so much for bringing out your guys. We wish you guys a very safe start to your season, and best of luck on the floor this fall.
I would like to say this. Thank you for 4 Quarters Online, for always supporting Florida High as well as all the other local schools in this area here. So thank you for your support, as well as Coach Clayton and your media services as well. So thank you so much for always supporting us. Thank you.
All right, and welcome back to Media Day 2024. We are now joined by the Aucilla Warriors girls basketball team and their head coach, Coach Burkett. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself and introduce us to your team that you brought with you, and tell us all about Aucilla Warriors basketball.
All right. My name is James Burkett. Let's see. Let's go this way. Start on the left. I have Avery Emmerich. I have Georgia Lindsay here. Lexi Eads, Reagan Walker, and Cameron Johnson. This year we have one returning senior. The last 2 years we lost 10 seniors 2 years ago and 6 last year. So we're kind of on a young team rebuilding here. I have one junior and one senior, and the rest going to be 10th and 9th graders. So it's going to be an interesting year, but we have lots of talent. We think we're going to perform very well. Just got to get going.
All right, now, Coach, you guys looking to improve on 12-9 record, but midway through the season, you guys ripped off about 6 or 7 wins in a row, just over a great stretch. Talk to me about what you saw on the floor and how that carries over into this season.
During that stretch there, at the beginning of the season, at a small school like this, so you have lots of players playing multiple sports. So during the summer, you're kind of split with volleyball and softball and basketball and all that. So as the season starts, we still got some work to do from the summer work. And so as the season started last year, we just had to get going. And so usually about December is kind of where we want to build. And so in January, you turn the corner for the postseason run that you're playing well. And because it's not about how you play in November, it's how you play in February. And so we just try to build the improvement throughout the year and then make it count when it matters.
Now, Coach, you did turn over a lot of talent from last season. I know you lost, I think it was Rutledge, who graduated along with a host of other players. Talk to me just about how that process works of like next person up and filling in those shoes from left over from last season. All right.
Well, yeah, it's almost like every year, but this year's been the biggest turn of the last 2 years. And so we have young girls. 3 was their last year on varsity last year, and we have 2 that they played at districts with us. So all of them have a little bit of experience, at least 1 year. And so I think that makes a big difference because you saw the speed of the game improving from the JV level. They had the year experience just playing together. So these group here played together last year. I think just the bond, the teamwork, just knowing each other's from the summer and just from last year's play should help this year just grow even more as a team.
Okay, Coach, as you go into this season, talk to me just about just leading up to tip-off and some of the things that, always happens is that you have somebody new who's out there on the floor, obviously maybe playing varsity for the first time. What has the message been with so much young talent?
The message this year is just going to be dedication and just hard work. And just learn from your mistakes because nobody's perfect. Everybody's going to make mistakes on the court, and it's how you learn from them and rebound and grow from your mistakes. Because if you just keep making mistakes over again and don't learn, then, what are you out there for then anyway? So just about learning from mistakes and just growing as a player and as a team and building the character you need to play together and have great teamwork and just excel at that.
All right, question for the ladies here on the panel. Talk to me just about the off season because most of, or if not all of you play other sports. How is that carried over, in your opinion, to basketball season now that it's right around the corner?
I mean, over the summer, like me and Avery and a couple of the other girls on the team, we play volleyball for our school, and a bunch of people play like travel sports. So it's hard to like get in the gym, but every time we could, we're in the gym trying to get on our shots and in the weight room, definitely like trying to improve and stuff. But it's hard because we're so busy with all of our other sports and stuff. But we definitely tried the best that we could.
I would say definitely over the summer it was hard to put in the work, but we definitely did. We definitely were on the grind. We were in there every time we could. With all of us playing different sports, we were always in the gym trying to put shots up. And even outside the gym, really, whenever we had time, we were always just together trying to put in the work.
Even when we're not in the gym all together, we're just putting shots up whenever we can. And even if it's not shots, trying to get in the gym and just stay in shape over the summer.
Over the summer, I tried a new sport, tried cheer. It's pretty fun. And so it's very different from basketball, but it did teach a lot of teamwork, and I think that will carry over into basketball. And like they said, we might not have been able to practice together, but we will definitely we definitely worked on our own to practice.
We are like a new team all playing together, and definitely getting in the gym and working together and bonding was a very big part of it. So,
Coach, what's been the biggest challenge, especially with so many players? Because I talk to Coach Colby Roberts a lot, and he tells me about just how there's a grid basically, and you got to figure out which player is playing what sport and where they're going to be and when they're available. Talk to me just about the challenges that you guys go through, just being able to make sure that you got guys, boys and girls available to play in different sports.
I think the biggest challenge will be during the summer, trying to get all worked out of who's going where and who's available when, and trying to work out different days so the gym's open for different sports. That's the biggest challenge. During the season, it's not as bad. I mean, there's a little overlap. Like right now, we're still on volleyball, and we're going to overlap into basketball some. And I actually coach both of them, so that's difficult when you do that. But the biggest challenge is just over summer, trying to coordinate how to make it all work the best we can.
Yeah, I guess for the players, season less than a month away for the regular season. What's the thing you're most juiced about or excited about going forward into early November?
Wait, so the question's what am I most excited about? I would say this is like a new team, and I've played with these girls. I've been playing since my 7th grade year, and I've played with these girls through middle school and JV, but recently last year I moved up to varsity, and at the end of the season, a couple of these girls moved up with us, and so we got to play a little bit last year, but it wasn't the whole season. So I'm excited for our bonding and how we're really gonna bond over the season, our chemistry and how we're going to go well together. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of talent this year, and I'm just excited to see where it's going to
go. This year being my 2nd year at Aucilla, I'm excited to see how we bond as a team, but I'm also excited to see how much we can grow to the end of the season. I'm excited to see how we work together, and I'm really excited to see how much we can pull off.
Like Georgia said, even though we're not on varsity, we've been playing together for multiple years, and I love playing with these girls. I mean, they're so much fun to play with, and everything they do, they play for each other, and it's really fun.
This year I'm the only senior on the team, which it's really weird because I've played with the seniors above me for I've played basketball for 5 years, so it's really weird. But it's really rewarding because now I have the chance to be the leader of the team. And I've definitely looked up to a lot of the people before me for that. So I'm really excited. Some of these girls I've never played with before, but I'm really excited to bond with them and help be a leader to them.
I'm excited to bond with these girls and getting on the court with them. It's such an uplifting team at Aucilla, and getting to play with them and being on the court again.
All right. That's right. Well, I guess the biggest part is going to be just some practices of just seeing how we adjust some practices when we get together, when practice starts, to see how we can do this. And the other thing is, if we can just get up tempo and just the defense won't be ready, then you might not need to make as many adjustments as you think sometimes. So it's going to be the pace of the game. If we can just get up tempo and play up tempo and speed teams up, that could help us with adjustments too. But if it's a slow-paced game, then that's where we're going to really work in practice to just make sure these girls are on the same page.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right, Coach, one final question. So far, we've talked to a lot of teams, and we keep asking the same question, but give me one word to define this season.
Dedication, probably. It's going to be dedicated.
I told him dedicated because over the summer we really did try to have to work hard just to start understanding each other and start working and just start anticipating the ball with each other and just knowing where it's going to go. I think dedicated because we all have other things. We all have challenges outside of sports, and especially just focusing on school because that matters the most. It's going to be a hard balance, and we're expecting a slow start, but once we get going, I think we're going to be very dedicated to this season throughout.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for coming out to Media Day. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys this season, and we look forward to seeing you guys out there on the floor. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be joined by our next team on the panel in just a few moments. To Media Day 2024. We want to give a huge shout out to Hangar 38 and their staff, and a special thank you to Terry Johnston. She does a great job hosting us here year in and year out. We're very excited to have our next team up on the panel, the FAMU DRS Baby Rattlers girls basketball team and their head coach, Erica Cromartie. Coach, thank you so much for bringing your team out. Go ahead and talk to us about this year's edition of FAMU High girls basketball, and tell us who you brought with you today.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure every year to be a part of this event. They're going to introduce themselves, but just for the most part, the team, we're still, rebuilding and getting back to the ways of which we knew. It's going to take time, but I think these girls have what it takes. Well, I know they have what it takes, and they'll be dedicated to the cause. So we can start with Hollis and come down this way.
My name is Rondesha Hollis, and I'm in 10th grade.
I'm Zion Justin. I'm in 10th grade.
My name is Navra Green, and I'm in 9th grade.
My name is Ariel Nelson, and I'm in 9th grade.
And my name is Assistant Coach James Brown. 25th.
So you can see from their grade, we have a young team, and we have others that couldn't make it there, but it's most all a young team. So it's going to be a challenge, but I know we have what it takes.
Now, Coach, obviously, you know, looking at when you have a young team, you know, there's so many components that go into just kind of making sure that you know, everybody kind of knows where to be, understanding the offense and understanding how to play defensively. But talk to me about the mental side of just being able to step into what essentially is a lot of big shoes to fill, and then of course being able to endure the grind of the season.
Yeah, I mean, when Aucilla was up here, he kind of said what I was going to say too. As being a small school, you have girls that transfer over from different sports. So it's kind of hard in a sense for them to just dedicate to that one sport because most of our students overlap on different sports. So that's a challenge within itself. But I think once we really, really get going and get into the meat of the season, I think they'll start to come together and just see what their role is and what they can do to attribute to the team.
Now, Coach, what excites you about this year's edition? Who stands out to you, and give me some reasons why?
Well, I think we've been known to have guards. I mean, I think that's been a staple of the program, is been having guards that just kind of are scrappy and kind of fight. So I think my guards will be big because we'll be mostly guard oriented. We have a couple post players, and they're young, but I like that they're young because they're not already set in ways, and you can kind of like mold them into that. So we have a couple post players I think that contribute very well, and like I said, our guards will play a major factor in what we're trying to do.
Okay, question for the ladies on the panel. Talk to me just about this past off season. I know you guys were very busy. Talk to me about what it was like just competing in the off season and of course building relationships with your new teammates.
This off season, it was pretty complicated because the people was in different sports and stuff, but we did as much work as we could, and we're still trying.
My off season was a little chaotic due to volleyball conditioning, so I was going in between both sports. So I was doing volleyball conditioning and basketball conditioning, but other than that, I did have time to like bond with the new teammates and the teammates that I really haven't been playing with. So yeah, it was kind of good.
This off season, it was very chaotic, honestly, but I did everything I could. I was getting in the gym, doing reps, everything I could so I can be good this season and do what I need to do for my team.
This off season was good because we got to do team bonding and stuff.
Coach, similar to Aucilla Christian, you guys have to share so many athletes, and you know, looking at how it translates, just there seems to be just I would say a mantra of just, you know, players who play multiple sports. It just seems to translate very well. Do you see some of that growth when you get some of your team members back in after playing a different sport? They have maybe just hit a growth spurt, or maybe just a little bit better as their dexterity improves or just their agility improves?
Yeah, that's the only is volleyball. So you do see a change in them when it comes to that. Most of the time they're already kind of in shape. You don't have to fight that battle because you gotta be more agile. You're jumping and moving around, and that helps because certain volleyball translates over to basketball. So it's a good connection with that, I will say.
So for the players, of course, coming in for tied for the 5th most in the program, 6 state championships, last decade plus here for FAMU High. I think about relentless. What is one or a couple words for the players to describe the team to you, and why?
Words that describe the team, I say hardworking, and our bond is very tight. We got a good chemistry, so yeah.
I'll say positive because although our season looked the way it does, we still find ways to be positive and find the good in our season.
I would say commitment because even though it don't matter how bad we're playing, everybody still kept their head up and everybody still was sticking together and not getting frustrated. So yeah.
Like they said, I feel like we have good chemistry and stuff and teamwork with the whole team.
Well, the difference, I would say, because I've been a part of all 6 state championship teams, and what we have to do is that Coach Cromartie and I both know that the point guard is a key element. So we just have to develop our point guards and get them to think the game of basketball, and I think we will be successful that way.
All right, and welcome back to Media Day here at Hangar 38. I want to give a huge shout out to the Hangar 38 staff. They've done a great job hosting us here thus far. So we're going to keep things rolling. We have now with us the FAMU High boys head coach, Coach Smith. Coach, thank you so much for coming out today. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody coming out. And we're going to go ahead and get things rolling here. Let's go ahead and get started. Coach, tell me a little bit about who you brought with you today, and go ahead and introduce us to this year's edition of FAMU High basketball.
All right, first and foremost, good afternoon. We would like to thank Four Quarters Online for this opportunity to be able to recognize the local and surrounding sporting teams of the girls and women, girls and men teams. Secondly, the last name is Desir. That is my former name was Smith. That's my maiden name, but I'm married now. I have two beautiful kids and a great husband. I'm going to allow my guys to introduce themselves and also to tell them what grade they're in.
Jaden Striggs, 11th grade. Aiden Palmer, 12th grade.
All right, now, Coach, talk to me just a little bit about last season. Going into this year and just the off-season activities and some of the things that you all did that might have been unique as opposed to just going through just playing in off-season tournaments. Talk to me just about anything that you guys might have done to just kind of build camaraderie with your squad.
Last season was quite interesting for our whole program. We had a lot of different variables that came into play that was unexpected. We had injuries that kept people down. Of course, you had suspensions because I don't play the radio. You know, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, if you're not getting your grades, if you're getting in trouble off the floor, then you're not going to play. We had unexpected death with two of our players. Their parent passed. And that literally happened after a game when we played Leland. And he found out that he lost his father. So we had a lot of things that we were going through. It didn't end up being the season that one would like for it to have been. However, we built upon a lot of things that allow the guys to understand that it's not just things that you do on the floor. It's not just things that you do on the floor, but it's things that you do off the floor. So at the end of the day, we would love to win games. We would love to win district championships, regional championships, and get another banner back up in FAMU High. We are FAMU DRS, but we want to get another banner back in there. And the last time we had a banner was back in 1997. So we're trying to bring that back, but at the same time, one of the ultimate goals is to make sure that our guys graduate with a diploma and being able to go to college. If that is their goal, to go to college. But at the end of the day, in order for them to be able to do something in life, they have to have their diploma. And it's a little difficult to do a certificate of completion. So with our graduation rate within our program, we've had 100% graduation rate. So we key in on the postseason conditioning. We key in on to make sure that you're on top of your grades, GPA is not low, and then we work on the stamina, the strength, and helping them to understand the game, holistically speaking, not by clips, because a lot of kids they just like watching clips on basketball. They don't understand the mantra that goes into it. So we've been working on that and helping them to strengthen their IQ and understand the game in and off the floor. So we've been working on that, and our summer conditioning it was something new for them, because I told them this year we're going to turn it up.
Coach, talk to me about overcoming adversity, because that's a huge part of the game that a lot of people don't really do a deep dive into. And how have you expressed being able to overcome adversity to your team and being able to relay those messages about being able to overcome hardships?
In our 7th period class, I told the guys, actually today, I heard from Quinn Ewers on last weekend when he had his interview. Of course, he gave praise to the good Lord. But then he also said in reference about adversity, 10% is what happens to you, but the 90% is what you're going to do with it. And so when I bring to the guys the new things that they're not used to, I'm telling you, you have adversity. I brought something new to you, that's 10%. Now, what's going to be the 90%? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to overcome it? You're going to get tired. There's a time frame on it. What are you going to do with it? So we've had a lot of adversity being thrown at them, and they're learning, and they're taking it to another level, because I've seen these guys. Our school doesn't start until 8:40 this year, but I have the one to my left, Mr. Triggs. He comes to the gym at 6:40 in the morning, every day, Monday through Friday, trying to better his game. He doesn't ask me for anything. He goes and gets the machine. He puts it up. Mr. Cromer comes in here as well as his brother who plays within the program as well. They're usually there about 7:10, 7:15 in the morning. And we usually average about 9 guys that's coming in that early in the morning just to try to get better for the game. So they realize that, you know, the adversity of trying to get better, you have to put in the work.
Question for the guys, especially looking at last season, and we're talking about overcoming adversity. What has been your mindset just through the off season and coming into this season?
I think last year we didn't have a lot of chemistry, and that's why the season was like it was, because a lot of people were playing for themselves. So I feel like now if we put in like teamwork and work together, it'll be a lot better. May you repeat that question?
Just overcoming adversity, just piggybacking off of the same question I asked your coach. Talk to me about how has it been this offseason for you and looking at some of the things that you want to carry into this season.
I mean, we've been making progress, like coming in the morning, putting up shots, going to workouts, having 7th period, talking to each other, not yelling, actually communicating what we want to be doing on and off the court, helping each other with like schoolwork so that we don't have those problems going into the season with grades and people not being able to participate in games.
Another question for you guys. Give me one thing that Coach Smith says to you repeatedly that just will not fall out of your brain. Like you could be 50 years old and you're still gonna remember it.
Like she said, here lately she's been repeating that 10% is what I give to you and 90% is what you do with it. One thing that would not come out of my brain is shell. I got trauma from that.
You wanna elaborate on that?
The shell drill that we do is we have help, deny, point, and when we were learning it, I messed up a lot. So I learned over time as it came with the punishments of not knowing shell, and from 15 years from now, I'm still no shell.
How do you feel like that's made you a better player?
It's really gotten me not to get in my head as much, as that was a problem with me from my first time playing at DRS. I usually got in my head about making shots, knocking down shots, or whether I do stuff. So just having that experience taught me to it's not really, I gotta be more mentally strong and be more prepared and learn faster.
Coach, talk to me about what you have learned from this team. Each player brings a unique kind of skill set, and everybody's kind of like puzzle pieces that are turned in different directions. What have you learned from this year's edition of your team?
I've learned about the excitement. Like, it's a rarity that you're going to have players, student athletes, to come in that early in the morning, or asked to come in the gym that early in the morning. There's a young man that we had here to graduate a couple of years ago, Rashard White. Anytime he comes home, he's calling me. It could be late at night. My husband's like, "Who is that calling me?" And I'm like, "That's Rashard. What do you want, Rashard? I want to get in the gym." And you've always asked individuals, you would like to have a team full of those type of individuals. This year, we have young kids who are really trying to get into the gym. They want to learn. They want to get better. So I'm excited because of the energy that they're bringing. After Mr. Triggs and I, we had a sit-down conversation because he wants to take his game to the next level. I said, you got to go in and give 110, 120%. I mean, I get in there and I work out Monday through Friday. Wednesday's on my day off, but I'm lifting. I'm staying in shape. I usually get there about 6:15. So when I try to get there, I usually get there about 6:30. And a few minutes later, he's coming in. So this year is going to be great because we got a lot of young, scrappy, young guys who are ready to put in. They don't mind getting up early. They don't mind staying late. Sometimes I have to kick them out of the gym because I got to go pick up my kids. My husband calling like, "You got the kids yet?" No, I got to just not leave the gym. The guys will not leave the gym. But that's great to have when you have that type of energy and the type of chemistry that they're building this year. So I'm excited.
Okay. Question for everybody. Give me one element in the game, in you guys' game, that you feel like is kind of like a red button issue, like I must improve this, or we got to improve upon this going into the season.
Probably my defense. Being able to communicate and break down what I'm trying to say instead of yelling or being loud with that person and they're not getting it.
The Achilles of attitudes, of getting upset with one another. I tell Mr. Cromer all the time, don't talk at them, talk to them. Everybody's different when you try to communicate. You can't yell at everybody. Some individuals you have to pull them to the side and say, hey, look, man, hey, that was a good pass. Some of you have to do that. And others you got to, tighten up. I don't mean to hit you like that. But, tighten up. So those are some of the things that I'm really trying to work on with them. And some of them try to feel like they're perfectionists. You cannot be perfect in this game. You cannot be perfect in life. You can strive to be great. But a lot of them, they get really upset when they make the small, minute mistake. And it really takes them to another level. So I have to bring that back. Just missing a layup there, they want to go punch a wall. There's no need to punch the wall. It's okay. We make mistakes in life, and that's how we learn from it. So the Achilles that I have with our guys is their attitude and their perfection attitude that they have.
All right, Coach, one final question. As the season gets ready to get underway, most of the time, there's a lot of excitement and everything, but the season definitely is a grind. Looking at the rich history and the tradition at FAMU High, how do you feel like some of that has just seeped into your program? And just, obviously the players, they may look up and see some of the banners, but what do you think that are some of the reoccurring elements that keep having to factor into each team that you get, each player that you coach? What are some of those things that keep having to replicate themselves that come from a championship mentality? That was a hard one.
As they say, that's a tongue twister. I don't think none of the guys that I've coached thus far has been able to experience that championship mentality. And I came from an era to where we did not take lightly of anybody that we played, period. And we just had that type of mentality. I know Coach Davis is in here from Rickards, and she knows she's played at Shanks back in the day. So we understand how to have that killer instinct, irregardless of who we're playing. And I don't think a lot of the student athletes today understand you gotta have that killer instinct. And that FAMU High tradition of why they have those banners, those back-to-back championship teams, they had that killer instinct mentality. It didn't matter who they were playing up against, they were gonna make sure that you were playing the orange and green of FAMU High. And we're trying to instill that back into them to let them know that when people call us to put us on the schedule, you're gonna regret it. And they have to understand that, because that's what they had back in the day. It was very hard for FAMU High to actually schedule teams on their schedule because nobody wanted to play them. That's how good they were. And so we're trying to help them to understand that rich history of what you had to bring. They didn't always have the height, but they had the speed and the quickness, and they had the communication, and they had that bond. So, Coach Davis, her brother knows. He was a product of FAMU High. So we have a lot of rich history of guys that come around that still try to instill to them to help them to understand what FAMU High actually and truly brings to the city of Tallahassee.
Coach, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Love the great responses. We wish you guys the best of luck going into the season. Hope you guys can stay safe and healthy. We're going to pause and take a quick break. We definitely want to thank FAMU High for joining us here at Media Day. And when we come back, we'll be having our next team on the panel in just a few moments.
Thank you.
Junior, I appreciate it. We'll catch up on Wednesday.
Okay.
Y'all here now. Did you get logged into the other account?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm posting in the. I'm just dropping the picture so he can post
Yeah, they tried to flag us for like spam or whatever. Not spam, but test. Check. All right, coach, just make sure you all talk into the mic. Don't hold it down here. And then you have 30 seconds. All right, welcome back to Media Day here at Hangar 38. We want to give a huge shout out to the Hangar 38 staff and the manager, Terry Johnston. She does a great job hosting us here year in and year out. So we're very excited to be working with the staff here at Hangar 38. So we're going to get started again. We have the Leon Lions boys basketball team and their head coach, Coach Huff. Coach, thank you so much for joining us here today. Go ahead and introduce who you brought with you and tell us all about Leon Lions basketball.
We're happy to be here today. Thank y'all for bringing us in. Thanks for us for the love and support that y'all have been doing throughout the community. My name is Duran Huff. It's my first season at the Leon Lions, head basketball coach. From the left to the right, got Kendrick Williams, he's a junior, Jack Manassi, senior, Noah Eckhart, senior, and Aaron Pensal, senior.
Now, Coach, just to kind of open things up, you guys closed out the season with a pair of wins. Did you kind of, and I think that you guys were kind of nomadic for a little bit because the gym was being worked on a little bit. The new facilities gotten back in place and everything. You guys feel like you guys are back at home again?
Yes, sir. So yeah, they've been working on the new gym for about the past year and a half. I'm happy to say that the Lions Den will be ready to go this year.
Coach, again, piggybacking from last season, talk to me just a little bit about some of the things that you all saw from some of the underclassmen and some of your returners and how that has translated over into this season. And then also, what are you guys looking to improve upon?
So what I've been seeing from the past years from the Leon basketball team is that they lack discipline and structure. I'm gonna tell you this year, we're gonna be very disciplined. We're gonna be structured. Because without discipline and structure, you can't play this game. It takes mental and physical.
Question for the guys that you brought with you. Talk to me just a little bit about how is the off going into this season?
Well, we didn't have a very traditional off season. Like you said, this is his first year as a head coach, and we were given the news in about late June, early July, and we just got right into it. I mean, like you said, we lack a lot of discipline. Workouts were not easy. I mean, first workout with him, I remember we were on the track immediately, already in the weight room working. It was all gas, no brakes. I mean, we hopped straight into it, and I'm proud to say I think we work harder than 99% of the schools in the Big Bend. So.
Every Monday through Thursday, we're in the gym, track, and then weight room, 2 to like 6:30, and we've been to 2 preseason tournaments and went 5-2 in those. Lots of teams we have and stuff like that. So I think we're gonna shock a lot of people.
Yeah, the off season, as far as the off season goes, it was definitely difficult. We're still working, and we're getting conditioned, we're getting stronger, getting better in every way. And I think our chemistry is definitely getting there. At the start, it definitely wasn't like the greatest, but it's getting to get better.
I think we started off the year right from last year, being more disciplined, getting in the gym, running, some condition.
I'm a surprise because you may find something that might be like a diamond in the rough or anything like that that might be a great attribute to the team and just might not be plugged into the right spot. Do you all have you feel like you've kind of discovered some things among your squad that maybe like, hey, I might be able to use this kid here or maybe able to put this person particular over here that might give you guys an edge or anything that might give you guys an advantage like that?
Shocked at a lot of things that they haven't learned. But I would say one thing about this team is their want to, the drive and the attitude they have this year. I feel like any circumstance from what I've been seeing from the past tournaments over this summer, they're actually buying in, they're trying to do the work. Things gonna be having that attitude that they're giving, that want to.
Question for the guys: what has you excited about this year's
FAMU, we got a lot of underclassmen. This would be a whole new Leon team that y'all are gonna see. I've been here 4 years, played varsity with guys, and I think this is gonna be a new Leon.
It's uncertainty of like our team, like no one knows what to.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the season.
I'm excited to play with the new transfers that we got in.
Current theme throughout the day. What do you feel like is the most important?
One word that I'm big on is belief. And believing in yourself, believe with them mentally, get through adversity. But if we don't have the mental focus and believing in ourselves.
Typically it takes a while, but you guys looking forward to doing that and kind of showing the everybody else your class.
Around school, and we got this new coach. We're ready to go show people what we got.
What this team should look like to you in your eyes going into January.
Season after the break of Christmas, and then we have a lot of steps to get there. We're not there yet, and that's fine. but we're gonna take
Coming out to Media Day. Thank you guys so much. We wish you guys a safe start to your season, and we'll see you guys out there on the floor. Oh, okay. To come to the house? Yeah. It'll be about 2 o'clock. I can meet you where you are. I can come by. Do you want me to call you in about an hour? Actually, Coach, before we get started, y'all want to slide this way like maybe a foot? Yeah, thank you.
Off seasons.
How has your off season been, and how do you feel like you guys have grown together as a team?
Yeah, I've been doing travel ball, so I haven't been with the team as much, but when I was with them, I've been playing together at different, but off season was pretty good, so I know our season's gonna be well.
Well, of course, dominates a lot of the landscape.
For the past probably 10 years, whatever team they're playing on. So we're in constant. I've had coaches who understand with their AAU coaches. I've been blessed to have that. I talk to their coach probably once a month. It's been that communication and that.
Another question for you. What do you feel like, and I heard this from another, I heard this being asked last year, in the playoffs, it's definitely a whole different type of animal that you have to deal with. Your brand of basketball is that will take you to Lakeland and possibly beyond.
You know, I always said basketball IQ, being a student of the game, and help prepare ourselves for making a playoff run. All of that comes into to what is resources the Lord compared to what we had. So they have to make use of that.
Coach, I had a chance, I taught some football legacy here at what is obviously a basketball gear around basketball season. What is the energy like as you all move throughout?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and I tell recruits. So that comes with the territory when you commit to, when you come to our program, big play and step up to that level of competition.
Got the title, I enjoy it. Where else? Competitive program, like I always play.
And one thing AJ forgot for, so the connection between, that's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, that's crazy. So I know you've watched your fair share of athletes kind of come through. One final question before we let you guys go. How big is?
It's very big. Close circle. girls, and being able to be a coach on campus with them and having the access to make sure that we're doing.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining us here at Media Day. We wish
Coach Godby, who's been with me going on 3 years. I have Jeremiah Brown, who's right here next to me as well. Who's a junior lady Scott.
All right, now, Coach, go ahead and talk to me just about the off-season. Off-season, a great time. What are some of the biggest takeaways that you've had from the off-season going into the regular season that's about to kick off?
Well, for us, we were most getting ready for the 24-25 season. We played some games, but we kind of take the games to see where we at to go to the next level of
going into the playoffs. I know you guys faced some tough competition, but it was just really a great atmosphere, especially putting together the kind of season you guys had. How do you improve upon that? What do you think like some of the biggest things? Again, what do you feel like your takeaways are from playing in the tournament? And how do you feel like you guys can improve?
For us, to be honest with you, do what we need to do as coaches and players, keep to that standard, and just want us to continue playing hard when it comes up, not compared to last year.
For your team that you brought with you, ladies, talk to me just a little bit about last season and going into this season, looking at this play travel ball, talk about those experiences as well.
That the team chemistry and the family element that I can like sense together, and I feel like that's just helped us all really get to know each other and become a better team.
Had a great run. We worked together as a team. We built a lot of team chemistry together, but we also lost a couple of people from different places. Also, people as freshmen, as well as sophomores coming in, and it's been an experience getting to work with them and also teach them, but also teaching them to teach me new things. So
Yeah, piggyback off of what they said. Last year we had a great run. It was my first year, so I had a lot to learn. But I feel like this year we have way better chemistry. It's a way better family element this year. And
all right, Coach. One of the biggest things, going into certain situations. What do you feel like the mentality is?
Is just to be prepared for the fourth quarter. Meaning that we try to deplete everybody so get their mental fatigue ready to be able to perform and to execute. So,
Coach, one additional question to piggyback off of that one. Talking being able to focus on team unity and being able to come in and some returning starters. What do you feel like the biggest thing has been as you pull all those pieces together going into the season?
I think the big players. So you won't look to move ahead that you have to do what you need for them to do and to take care of situations you need to take care of. And that's what us as a coaching staff and them install that into the freshmen and people coming in from different programs. So we're all on the same page. So.
All right, one final question for the players. Give me your best Coach Daly quote.
But I think it's just always something motivating personal. So I'm not up to the standard he expects me to be at. It's usually allowed. He always pushes me to be the best. The best, not like. I'd probably say.
All right, well, we wish you guys the best of luck going into the season. We appreciate you guys coming out for Media Day here at 2024, and we will definitely see you guys out there on the floor. So we appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys later on in the season.
Thanks again for having us.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next team on the panel in a few moments.
One of the biggest and the conditioning, which is great, keeps them in shape, but also their the teamwork side of things that helps when we have a cohesive team to build on. Also just the athletics, the explosiveness from, you know, volleyball, and things like that, and the other sports translate and help with.
The future of the program. There's a lot of where, especially in the 1A rural division, it could be wide open. We've seen teams that essentially have come out of nowhere, put together great runs. Where do you all see the future of Jefferson County basketball?
With a new coach and just having fun. Game and like having fun and getting to know our coach.
Coach, same question. Where do you see the future of this program?
Like I mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of young girls coming into the program, and so for these athletes that have been playing for multiple years, that comes with being a Lady Tiger at Jefferson County, just so we can build a successful and consistent program moving forward.
Okay, one final question before I let you guys go. Let's start with give me one word that should define this season for you guys going into tip off as we get.
I would say dedication.
Thank you so much for coming out to Media Day. We appreciate talking to you. Best of luck to you guys as you start the season. Hope you guys have a safe. Yep. All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll All right, and welcome back to Media Day 2024 here at Hangar 38. We feel very, very privileged to be. We are now joined by the Godby Cougars and their head coach, Coach Johnson.
Well, good afternoon. I am Coach Chelsea Johnson. You're the head coach of the Lady Cougar. And today with me, I have to my far left sophomore guard, Mikkel Bradham, senior captain, I call him mini coach, Jemiah Daniels, and to my far right, I have junior guard and forward, Lo. Ladies have grown up, right? And so we always talk about proof being in the pudding. And so the proof in the pudding to the harvest that's going to be reaped on the floor. So we're super excited just to see that work from previous.
Last year, there's a lot of course, everybody trying.
Yes, so that record, 16-10, was led by God. And I talked to them about, that works is dead. And we know those games and those moments where, even to be me having to point out to them, this is where we feel short. This is where I'm on huddle in the postseason, the preseason. They're watching film still. Coach head on, just 1-on-1, every night going 1-0. And then moving forward and fixing those missing pieces, fixing those things.
November, December, where you guys ripped off 7 straight. And of course, you put together, but talk to me just about the biggest thing that you saw during that.
Is the basketball, the orange ball is what we use to teach these young people about life. Well, unfortunately, life happens a lot quicker and faster in circumstances with these young ladies and even the students that we teach at Godby High School. But I love teaching them how to play through the obstacles, play through the trials, have mental toughness. And so in that stretch, we worked on some things, and in that stretch, I saw a basketball to take me through that. And so we know that life is going to life, but in terms of that, and as we move forward to this year, just staying consistent, staying mentally tough. Part about this team is so many different lineups that we can use, and they're holding each other accountable now, right? I can walk into the gym, and if I have a parent-teacher conference, that's that we're doing.
All right, question for the athletes that you brought with you. Ladies, go ahead and talk. What have you guys done to improve your game going into this season?
Okay, for my off season, really was we play volleyball, so that's it helps our chemistry and our connection stay connected even with the off season. Is where it stays.
We play volleyball, but our coaches are making us run like do cardio stuff, so we can stay in shape.
During the off season, I was playing volleyball with them, and
I played flag football, so the off season I was conditioning and stuff, and then during the summer I played.
You ladies, talk to me just about what team chemistry is like, other activities to kind of build that chemistry up.
We're always.
I feel like we have a great family-oriented environment. Like the girls were really tight.
Great relationship because we talk to each other.
We don't act like strangers, we act like a family, so we always together and stuff.
What's the
Texas Roadhouse. And Chili's, we be there all the time.
What are some of the things, especially some of the subject matters that you will bring up just about basketball, life, sports, topics you've covered, just some of everything. What do you feel like is one of those, the biggest topics?
The Coach Cofield doesn't know that I've grown up yet. I am a wife and a mother now. So we do them a bit differently now. We do 2 live shows of some of the best minds of basketball, right? Hall of Famers and college coaches today. Just mentioning because she's right here in the home front, Coach Brooke, how to truly be a servant leader. Knowing that if I'm going to spend as much time with these young ladies as they do with their parents, I'm held accountable and I'm on assignment. It's not just coming in here saying that I'm doing things in the future. They're playing college ball. They're becoming, like we talk about, teammates, judges, and Grammy Award winners. That's what we're here for. And so I hear those things from coaches talking about that. We have to be good people, right? And I know that sounds so simplistic, but it's so missing in this world. And so that starts with being, like they say, beyond our circumstances and trusting God for the things that we want. And I think that along with the podcast and spilling over into coaching them, truly helps to hold me accountable too. Like I said before, we talked about for years, the Democrat has said it, here, the babies, right? We had all these 9th graders, all these 10th graders. And I know that comes from them paying attention, seeking my do things without me talking as much. So sometimes they'll look and say, Coach, we had a timeout, you didn't say you'd be able to fly because I gave you and equipped you with what you needed. And so now that I'm clipping the wings of.
One final question for everybody. Give me one word to define this season.
Hard work.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming out to Media Day. We appreciate it. Thank you for also bringing out your student athletes and introducing us to this year's edition of Godby.
Thanks for having us.
Cougars boys basketball team and their head coach, Coach Anderson. Coach, thank you so much.
Hi, let me just start with introducing myself. I'm Coach Jordan Gaston.
I'm a senior guard. I'm kind of number 13.
Sophomore, left leg, forward, number 11, forward,
David Shepherd. Big guard, number 15, takes it.
Was our mentor. That's been a main focus with these guys, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, just talk to me a little bit about just getting into one central unit so you guys can find success on the floor. And tell me about what that.
We have athletes. The thing that we have to work on is the mental state, being able to fight against adversity, stuff that was almost impossible to do. I just want to believe we improving and going in the right direction.
I would say success in the playoffs and making the run.
I would say to fight against adversity, feeling change against us. Also, I feel like a good run this year.
Question for your student athletes that you brought with you. Talk to me about.
A great season. We'll be working on this whole off season. Right?
I feel like this year we're going to improve from last season. Focus on that over the summer, team camp. We seen we came through, we did better.
This year I feel like we'll have a lot of things.
Coach, a lot of times when you start the season, you know, it looks like. What are your expectations?
You're head coaching, so that comes with a process. And me putting in a new system with these guys, I understand that's gonna be a process. So I know we're gonna take bumps and bruises. It's gonna be a totally different team from the start. That's to me the championship, nothing else. That's
question for the guys again. Being able to build relationships with one another. Do you guys feel like you've gotten to know each other?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these are my guys. We do everything together. We go to football games 3 to 4 years. So it's getting that.
We've been going to football games, you know.
I feel like we got closer together than we used to be. Like without us.
I feel like our chemistry is there. We basketball A tournaments. I feel like yeah, we all.
Coach, question for you. Who's your coach on the floor?
Me on the floor. So that means communicating. So he has to be me out there on the floor.
Okay. Coming out and being a part of Media Day. Best of luck to you guys this season. 2024, we are now joined by the John Paul II, St. John Paul II, this year's edition of Panthers basketball.
Here with the team, super excited. To my left, overall, we're just very excited for the season.
All right, Coach, give us a recap for last season and tell us a little bit about some of the elements that you're trying to improve upon.
But with that came we can grow from all things last year. Confidence, trusting each other a little bit more, so that we can build really that team culture and chemistry to do better on the court.
What is the thing that has you excited about this year's team and the upcoming?
They're always enjoyable for me. We love the crack jokes and stuff like that. So
have an improvement in everything that's happened this year.
Just a little bit about what that's been like for you guys.
You alluded, or the previous season we only lost one senior, so I actually have in previous years we've been doing summer work at. But again, it's making sure that the new players I have had for multiple years. But overall, I think off-season work has put us in a spot where.
Question for, of course, your athletes there. Talk to me just about just together and how that translates into you guys being a basketball team.
We go out and eat, and then sometimes we go and play game.
All right, Coach. And given the fact that you've been in throughout the season,
I think that goes into the next part of the question is I have to instill confidence. That's kind of the deal is them have the talent and trying to get that process of believing that they have.
All right. Guys, and we definitely appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you guys out on the floor. All right, Coach Seller. All right, and welcome back to Media Day. So our bringing your guys out today, we appreciate it. We definitely want to, but without further ado, Coach, go ahead and tell us about this.
Every year's a great event. We love being a part of it. Sophomore, Tristan Carter, junior, Cruz Spontan. Just kind of introducing it. We have some faces from last year's varsity team. We have two new faces. We both have a huge impact on our varsity team. Different in a better way.
Coach, looking to improve on a portion of the season, making the tournament. What do you feel like the bright spots were last year, and how does that translate into this year?
You're averaging a double for us, but things we won, we had to earn it. Really, in practice time, when we only have 8 guys, you can't really have a full practice and go 5-on-5. So come up on 5. So now with a little bit of depth, we have more to every aspect. So, last year we kind of played a more complete game and not have to battle exhaustion.
This year's team, and what do you feel like are some of the
He's playing together as a team. I feel like that's really important to win.
We're gonna come out this season because important.
I feel like as
Coach, talk to me about mentality as it relates to this team.
So many minutes. This year we do have a couple of new faces that kind of mental aspect to it, where you can't be make the playoffs, and it's not going to be easy in overtime. Then have to go to Jacksonville in the playoffs, and I want to make sure that before we've even started really practice one person, it's got to be next championship team, and that's honestly the mentality.
Give me one word to define this team.
Winning.
Dog.
Coach, one final question before we let you go. What do you feel like this team?
From a coaching standpoint, we have what defenses were. I hope that we're in the habit of brutal, just not just physically but mentally. So there's an end game, teaching the culture and kind of getting show up and do it.
A healthy season, and we'll